Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and success, yet it is often overlooked. Many people move through life on autopilot, following the same routines, making the same choices, and repeating the same mistakes without ever stopping to analyze their actions. They go from one task to the next, reacting to circumstances rather than proactively shaping their future. The problem with this approach is without self-awareness, it is easy to get stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. Those who actually achieve greatness understand the importance of self-reflection. They take the time to pause, analyze their progress, and ask themselves those kinds of questions that will challenge their thinking, pushing them toward meaningful action. The first thing is to ask yourself, what am I really working towards? This question goes beyond goals and instead makes one realize the purpose, values, and priorities that drive a person. In the end, many people go chasing after success without knowing what success really is for them. Instead, they make goals that fit the societal, family, or peer expectation of what someone should be, rather than something that satisfies the person. They might get money, prestige, or fame, but feel unfulfilled. All this is why self-reflection is essential. It is being compelled to introspect and decide whether the path followed is actually in line with one's greatest interests. Such is the reason why many people find themselves stuck in their lives, unable to clearly define their aspirations, because they don't choose to take some time out from the distractions around them. We live in a noisy world with constant notifications, social media updates, and the pressure to always be busy. It is hard to focus on what really matters. Successful people make time for moments of solitude to reflect on their journey. They take time to think, journal, and ask themselves important questions. Self-reflection helps one understand that he or she will only move in the right direction by first ensuring that they are on the right path. The recognition of certain patterns in your behavior is also brought about by self-reflection. Many of the problems people face in life are recurring. They struggle with the same problems, fall into the same bad habits, or attract the same negative situations. It is very easy to blame all this on external factors without self-awareness. However, with reflection, you begin to see that everything is actually part of your own way of being, and your patterns are created. Your thoughts, beliefs, and way of being all have something to do with your results. This realization is powerful because it gives you the power to be in charge of your life. You no longer become a victim of your circumstances. Instead, you realize that you can change your situation. Another advantage of self-reflection is that it assists you in making better decisions. When you're always on the move without reflecting on your decisions, you end up making a lot of rash decisions based on emotions or outside influences. On the other hand, when you reflect on what you do from time to time, you grow in awareness and intentionality. You become thoughtful in your decisions, ensuring that your choices match your long-term goals rather than temporary desires. One of the most effective ways to practice self-reflection is to ask yourself powerful questions. Beyond, what am I really working toward? Some other questions that might be helpful include, am I living my values? What habits are propelling me forward and what habits are holding me back? What have I learned from my recent successes and failures? If I keep moving down this road, where will I be in 5 years? You get to know yourself better and make meaningful changes in your life by constantly asking yourself these questions. Self-reflection is also enhanced through journaling. In writing down one's thoughts, patterns can be determined, progress traced, and one's ideas clarified. This aids in the management of emotions, analysis of problems, and formulation of a solution. Most successful individuals, be it business leaders or athletes, utilize journaling as a means of ensuring reflection on experiences and further improvement. It's about looking back as well as ahead. Now, once you clear up your priorities of what it is you actually want, align your action toward your vision by setting specific goals, building supportive habits to bring about your growth, and then eliminating things that distract you away from your purpose. That demands discipline and commitment, but in return, a life of such intentionality will be far more fulfilling and align with the deeper desires that burn within. Making self-reflection a regular habit gives you clarity and awareness about taking control of your life. You are not just reacting to circumstances, instead you become the architect of your own success. Many spend their lives in pursuit of success, but few take the time to define what success really means to them. External markings of success typically include wealth, status, luxury, and recognition. Social media, cultural expectations, and society all typically dictate these things that people should strive for. Nonetheless, external properties of success do not necessarily contribute to fulfillment. True success comes from actions that are in alignment with personal values and aspirations. In the absence of clarity, it is easy to get trapped in the wrong pursuits, leading to frustration, burnout, or a feeling of emptiness. This is what self-reflection and intentional decision-making are. One of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is what I'm doing today getting me closer to my goals? This question will force you to assess your daily activities, habits, and choices to ensure they correlate with your long-term vision. One is easily led down the path of busyness, working hard, checking things off the list, and feeling productive without necessarily making real progress. Most people mistake activity for achievement. All effort is not created equal. Not all results are meaningful. The key is to check yourself regularly against a clear, well-defined goal for whether your actions are moving you forward. This first step, setting clear goals, makes real progress possible. There will be no way to measure the result without setting a target. Many say they want to be successful or happy, but these are vague, too broad to draw a specific plan of action. Instead, goals should be specific, measurable, and actionable. For instance, instead of saying, I want to be financially stable, a better goal would be, I want to save $10,000 in the next year by cutting unnecessary expenses and increasing my income. This kind of clarity allows you to track progress and adjust your efforts accordingly. Once your goals are clear, the next step is evaluating whether your daily actions are aligned with them. This requires honest self-assessment. Many people set goals but fail to take the necessary steps to achieve them. They may want to be healthier but continue eating poorly and avoiding exercise. They may want financial freedom but continue making impulsive purchases. They may want to start a business but never take the first step toward planning or execution. This is the difference between the successful ones and those who struggle. They know how to make their behaviors work for their objectives. Discipline is key to the process. It does not just involve goal setting. One must develop habits and routines that bring to life the goals. It requires sacrifice, commitment, and consistency, even when motivation is low. Success is about the understanding that discipline is a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline has two aspects, a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. We prioritize long-term benefit over comfort and instant gratification. Elimination of distractions is another crucial characteristic of progress. Many people are not able to achieve their set goals because they are distracted by unimportant activities, social media, entertainment, or negative influences. If you are serious about success, you must protect your time and energy. Eliminate the activities that do not add value to your growth. Create an environment that supports your goals by surrounding yourself with like-minded, motivated individuals and removing temptations that lead to procrastination. It is a process of self-reflection. You cannot be too comfortable with your journey, no matter how well you are doing, because it means you are getting better every time. Success does not have to be linear. It takes the flexibility to make changes. When something is not working, it is time to change what you are doing. The trick is to keep focus on the goal while refining and adjusting the approaches. Success is not overnight. It is a result of little things done over time. Every decision you make, every habit you build, and every step you take is either bring you closer to your goals or further away. And by constantly asking yourself, is what I'm doing today getting me closer to my goals? You build the self-awareness and discipline necessary to create the life you want. Fear is that massive barrier that stands in the way of people achieving their dreams. It keeps them from risk-taking new endeavors and forcing them out of their comfort zones. It whispers doubts. It stokes the embers of fears and brings excuses in the way to prevent people from realizing their true potential. However natural it is to feel fear, but allowing it to direct your decisions turns into a life of regret and missed opportunities. One of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is, what would I do if I weren't afraid? This forces you to confront the fears that are limiting you. It challenges you to imagine a life where fear is no longer in control. A life where you make decisions based on your dreams, not your doubts. Masquerades itself as logical and convinces you that perhaps this is just not the appropriate time. Nor are you ever prepared for success. Or worse still, taking a risk about failure. Indeed, most fear is blown up, and their worst fears tend to come from imaginations as rarely as they come true in life. Many people will freeze due to their fear of making mistakes. They fear what other people will think about them, how they would react if things didn't work as planned, and whether they could even pull this off. However, failure is not the enemy. It's necessary for growth. Every successful person has failed numerous times before finally succeeding. What separates those who succeed from those who do not is their reaction to failure. Success gurus do not perceive failure as an excuse to give up, but instead as a lesson. They learn from the lesson, change their approach, and try again. The fear of rejection is the other significant obstacle. Many individuals fear pursuing their goals because of the criticism or judgment that might be bestowed upon them by other people. They base their decision on the opinion of family, friends, or society, with the result of suppressing their actual desires. However, living to please others leads to frustration and dissatisfaction. Facts are that no matter how good you try to be, there will always be someone criticizing you. You can't control how people perceive you, but you can control how you react to it. It means to focus on what matters the most to you instead of getting approvals from those who do not see your vision. The only way to grow is by stepping out of your comfort zone. Growth occurs when challenging yourself, taking risks, or pushing beyond the place of fear. Every time you have a chance to confront your fears and do it despite them, you become stronger and develop greater confidence. As you keep on doing this, you become more resilient. Eventually, things that were scary become second nature. What once seemed impossible becomes easy. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking action despite fear. Successful people feel fear just like everyone else, but they refuse to let it dictate their choices. They take small steps forward, building momentum until fear loses its power. Undefined. If you want to change your life, you must start making decisions based on your potential rather than your fears. Undefined. Ask yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? Then act. Because the only way to overcome fear is to face it head on.